Hi, Brian. All right. So I just wanted to walk through what I'm seeing on the back end, which may, of course, be a lot different from what it is that you're seeing and how it is that you're reading the stats. Right now, I do know that this is your most popular product, most popular product that's not only shown by way of where people are and what people are clicking on the most, but also by way of what people are adding to their cart the most. So let's take a couple of looks at the stats. Let's go here. So I went into the analytics section of your website and went into the dashboards. I did a comparison. Let's go here. The 8th to the 9th, week to date. So far, we only have two sales that came in. So that's a third of what it is that we've spent so far. The entire budget. Um, that's the average order value. These are the regions. This, of course, doesn't really matter because this didn't really, a portion of it went onto our pixel, but I turned off anything having to do with India or China or any of these other places. So right now, America is your top country. Canada is not too far. Myanmar and Bangladesh, those two will be taken out shortly. They'll be phased out. Now, this is a very important section right here. Top landing pages by sessions. So from the 8th to the 9th, the product that people have been viewing the most has been the watch, which is this watch right here. All right, actually the gold version. So that's what it is right there. Um, Second page is the rings. I turned that off. I didn't feel like it was really noteworthy to keep it on at this point. And then, of course, the third landing page. The only two that are currently running are just the golden watch and the 20 milli thick Cuban link chain. All right. Now, what's important to check out? Let's actually start checking out these stats. So keep in mind that I only spent 100 or about 100 and change. If we go back from the 5th to the 7th, spent about $100 just doing the testing in India. So it's about $280 less, or excuse me, $180 less than what it is that I was expecting, because I was expecting to spend 300 for the testing. So now, from the 5th to the 7th, so now basically from the 8th to the 9th, this is what has been spent. And let's go here. So again, what it is about this section here is we're casting again a wide net. So the expectation, of course, should either be that we're gonna be any place close to breaking even, or maybe being a little bit at a loss. And the reason being, of course, is because now I'm actually gonna see and cast a wide net again within the American market, and then start stacking down. As I mentioned in the document, we build up and then we check out what works versus what doesn't, and then we take down what doesn't work. After every 500 impressions, Facebook now starts doing some kind of optimization. So after every 500 impressions, we start getting a Facebook relevance score, which you can see here. And your watches have a relevance score of, let's go here, relevance score currently of 8. So in other words, it's relevant to this particular group. I'll explain this a little bit later. But right now, by way of clicks, the ones that are getting the most link engagements are the watches, as you can see, and then the chain as well. So I left only these four, or these 5 currently running. One purchase was made via this particular avenue. And now let's also check out another thing. Let me actually duplicate this. Okay. So you will always get a lot of view carts, view products, right? As opposed to, of course, a lot of add to carts, which is what you have been seeing. Let's use the stats from yesterday to today. We've only had about 14 add to carts, 594 view products. Excuse me. This number, of course, is going to start going down. Anything related to India, because we're no longer running any campaigns there after the first couple of days of testing. Now we're strictly within the US and within the top five. So all the other numbers are eventually going to dwindle. And it's reflected here. All right. Your top sessions have been all mainly within the top five regions, right? US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or England, or United Kingdom, UK. So we can see that the sessions have been very significant. Now, what the stats do let you know is that fewer than 2% of people who always visit a site will always wind up buying on their first visit. So, what something like this lets me know, which is lets me know that again, your page is getting a lot of engagement. And again, the primary thing that it's being engaged with is just the watches, as you can see right here. I'm very much interested at this point in running what they call a retargeting or remarketing campaign, the definition of which you can see within the document that I sent, what remarketing is. And the stats are always true. It is fewer than 2% of people who actually visit your site. Fewer than 2% of people who visit your site will wind up making a purchase on a first visit. So we keep looking at this. As you can see again, what's getting the most engagement out of all of them is the watch. And another thing that's a good indicator. All right. Just waiting for it to go onto this other page. All right. Again, you can see watches here. Watches. People spending a lot of time within some within a necklace area. Let me check out the watches again. Watches. The watch. All right. Same here. Mainly the watch. Let's go to 5. Mainly the watch. All right. And this doesn't really matter. Myanmar. Yep. It has mainly been the watches. It would fail me to continue going down the list. Now let's look at the add to cart products. The products that have mainly been added to the cart, and the amount value, $64.99, is the watch. In some cases, it's been the thick necklace, but for the most part, it's the watch. So that lets me know that there definitely is a lot of interest within this watch section right here. So what I know that it's time for is basically what they call a remarketing or a retargeting campaign. The indicators obviously indicate to me that your most valuable product here, and also the ones by way of checkouts initiated. So let's look here again. Website add to carts. So in other words, in order to actually see all of these stats, when you go into your back end of Facebook, I created a column called engagement. So all you have to do here is just go into the column section, click on engagement, and then you will get the stats that I'm actually looking at here. All right. From the 8th to the 9th. Let's see here. All right. Let's choose a filter. Find list. All right. From the 8th to the 9th, what has happened is the most add to carts have also come by way of smartwatch. By the way, is also the same watch. I renamed it, smartwatch for my own purposes, but it's all the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the same watch campaigns, and everything here indicates that your top products are the watches, Also by way of clicks. Outbound clicks mean that they're actually clicking on the links or the watches. And the strongest indicator that people really have taken an interest is website checkouts initiated. So they have started the process of inputting their card information, inputting their names, their addresses, and then they just basically left at this particular point. Now, should, of course, in theory, they make these purchases, this would have been 129, and this would have been another 64, and this would have been another 64. So it would have been four $64 products. And this is the, let me go here, 64. $259 it would have been for the day. That's gross. Now, of course, the profit, I think I most likely marked it up at least between 2 to 5 times whatever the purchase price, the cost was. Now, it's very important to look at this number. The reason why, because this is the last step before making a purchase. And the fact that we've actually been able from a cart percentage, the percentage of a cart, so 50% here, actually initiated a checkout, 1/3 initiated a checkout here, 100% of a checkout was initiated there, and no checkout was initiated here. But just these alone, out of all 10 of these, just about half of the people have actually initiated a checkout, as you can see here, indicated by these numbers. So this lets me know that this is definitely something that I would want to keep running, right? I would not want to stop running this particular product. What is the next step for me would be a retargeting campaign. So now what I do and what I've created is these 4 campaigns here, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've created what they call a custom audience by going here, going into the audiences section, and creating a custom audience of people who have viewed this particular product and gone to this particular page, which is the watches page. And I've created a custom audience of them. And now I am running what they call a carousel ad to them. So let me show you what this carousel ad looks like. All right, whenever, and as I said in the text, right now, I don't know why Facebook is not running my retargeting campaign. I'm definitely going to look into that. But let me just show you what it is, what this carousel campaign is. So these are the top 4, as you can see. No reach, no engagement, because Facebook has not started running these campaigns yet. Let's go to, let me just show you what it looks like. So this is what the carousel campaign looks like. As you can see, it's set. So this is going back. This is being retargeted to people who have already viewed this particular product. Now I am actually, instead of watching a video, I'm giving them like a catalog version so that they can actually make this particular purchase of the product. So as the copy says, like this, come back to Bling in Motion and grab it today. Use code Bling7 for 20% off. All right, and then as you can see, I just put 3 of the top ones that I think look good. But the way that Facebook works is that it's actually going to show to people. So even though I created it in this particular format, it will put the product that has been the most clicked upon, it will start moving it more towards the front. So if this one is the one that's most clicked upon, that is going to move into this place. If this is the one that's the most clicked upon, it will move again into the first tile. Or if this one is the most clicked, then this one is going to remain the first tile. All right, so now this is what I give them. I give them an option. I retarget with this particular catalog option. All right, so that's, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Another thing which I think is very important to look at, which I would like to start, because these retargeting efforts that I'm referring to could only happen within Facebook itself. But as you've seen on many sites, this particular uh, uh, this particular retargeting software, right? This one allows for you to retarget people outside of Facebook. So in other words, when they click on your ad on Facebook and now they go into dailymotion.com, they'll be able to see the ad itself in other places, or they go to whatever other website it is that they have. This is where you basically start making a lot of your money back. It has been shown, and I actually have seen it, that retargeting in this particular fashion is something that brings a lot of your sales back. So you can retarget not only the people who have added it to the cart, but most importantly, the people who have viewed your product, right? So the 500 or so people from these strong first world countries, we can retarget them. And this is a huge enough group to retarget them because, as we've seen, there has been a lot of engagement by way of the metrics that we've actually been looking at. And right now, by way of all these metrics, there has been a lot of engagement with this particular piece. So I would definitely run a retargeting campaign at this point. Keep in mind, we could talk about this a little bit later. Hopefully, you watch this video before we even talk. I'll actually say it to you in a text. So please watch the video first. But this does not start charging you until like $1,000, right? So per $1,000. So let me actually just show you that. And you would have to put in your card information. Let me see. Let's go here to pricing. All right. So up to $1,000, you will not be charged a monthly fee. The price. So in other words, you're going to get charged a percentage of the $1,000. $1,000 is the threshold of money that you make, and then you pay a certain percentage on this. The price you will pay depends on amount of people who engage with your ads, and it will determine the level of service you receive. So if you get a lot of engagement with this ad, then you're basically just going to be charged a percentage of this amount. You go here. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. You could literally, just read this particular page. As a matter of fact, I'll just scroll slowly down it if you want to pause the video and just read it here. Per section, and you can also do so. But it's pretty much what it is that I explained. So this is a very good way of how to target people outside of Facebook. The first method that I referred to is only targeting people within Facebook itself, right here. Again, I'm just waiting for Facebook to start running them. And the second method is outside of Facebook. So wherever else it is that they land, they will start seeing the ad. And this is literally how you continue remaining top of mind to any one of your customers or any one of your viewers. And this is how you're able to bring them back to the site in order to be able to make those purchases. So I think that's pretty much it. I hope this answered a lot of questions. I know that you're probably a little bit stressed out, right? I've definitely gone through this particular stage before, but I really don't want you to worry. There is a method to every single thing on this particular, on this particular path. So we have, looking back to the website, we have a very good landing page, right? We have the reviews, we have a sales indicator, we have this percentage, get this percentage off, right? If they should so choose to click on it. By the way, in the recordings, you will oftentimes not see this information, this section right here. Whatever privacy issues it is that Facebook has, Lucky Orange abides by them, so they do not display the user's information. This is already there. This is a good indicator. I'll definitely put a little bit of space between this. The specifications right here, I could, this is good, and the guarantee is good. So that's one of the things that's definitely keeping a lot of people on the page for as long as it is that you see that they are on. So with that being said, my battery's about to die, but I don't feel like plugging it in and saying anymore. So you have everything really working for your benefit. I really think at this stage it is definitely time for retargeting, which is something that I've already implemented. So the amount of money that you will see being spent tomorrow is definitely going to be a lot less than what it is that it was today, because I've done a lot of cleaning up. I mainly found the products of yours that are really hot by way of initiated checkout. right? Which is the so again, there's three stages to making a purchase. There's your or four stages. There's your view product. There's your add to cart. There's your initiate checkout, and then the final stage is your purchase. So as you can see again, half of the people, when you go back here into the engagement section, half of the people who have added it to the cart want to, at least half, want to initiate a checkout. So that's a 50% rate checkout. So that's again a good indicator that this product is something that can sell. We just need to figure out what that little bottleneck is and then take it to the next stage of increasing the conversions. I strongly believe at this point that you need to run a retargeting campaign, which I have already started the process of doing, but please do consider also utilizing this particular stage. All right, we'll talk later. Thank you.